medalist, has the collegiate record as well as the meet record in Eugene, that same day that Michael Norman set the collegiate record in the 400. This is James Smith Jr. of Texas A&M. He will start out in lane number 6.
Youngster from Chandler, Arizona, spent a season at the University of Arizona before transferring to 800U, but Smith broke the 50-second barrier for the first time here at the championships back in 2019 at age 19.
There are the lane assignments. Texas Tech with an athlete in here that they're hoping to get through to the finals, Oscar Edlund. And it's the lane race, so same qualification criteria. The first 2 finishers across the line automatically qualify through to Friday's final. And the next 3 fastest times on time over the 3 heats.
Well, James Smith really pushing the pace as we get to the 200-meter mark. And that's Craig Sadler of North Carolina just to his inside.
Smith really pushing hard in this semifinal. He will come off the 8th hurdle first. He's got quite the gap. He just needs to maintain his momentum over the 10th hurdle as the rest of the field's starting to catch him. And Sean Burrell doesn't have it, and on his outside, right at the end, Corday Long of Alabama winning the heat. But Smith holding on for second, getting automatically through. But Sean Burrell, who we did not mention, again, you just don't know what kind of a race he's going to run. And I think he ended up about 4th in that heat. We'll see if it was a fast time. But that is Corday Long of Alabama, the junior.
Well, if you got a long stride, you can run 13 strides in between. But look at this finish by Corday Long. Most guys aren't running 13s by the time they get to the end. But what a finish all the way to the end. James Smith was the one who did all the work, and he was not expecting somebody to creep up with him with that kind of pace on the outside. Corday Long was 8th at the SEC championships, and he's going to get through to an NCAA final.
There are your official results with Long and Smith both qualifying through automatically. It's Clement Ducot of Tennessee. He is the bubble time at 50:57, so Sean Burrell still have a chance. He still broke 50 seconds as we get on to heat number 2, and the collegiate leader decided not to do the multi-event outdoors this year for his Arkansas team and became the collegiate leader in the 400 hurdles. This is Aiden Owens-Delarme, the senior from Arkansas.
Well, we were first introduced to him here in 2019. We saw him wearing a USC uniform. He was 2nd place in the decathlon that year, but he said it's only fitting 4 years after his debut at the NCAA championships, he'll run his final collegiate race here on this very same track. But what we thought was all going to just be kind of fun and maybe even a little bit of a tester, he's turned very serious. He said, look, he wasn't going to get out there in the 400-meter hurdles and just shuffle around. He wanted to show people that he was very versatile. Certainly he's versatile in decathlon, but this shows a whole lot about him. And here's Caleb Dean. He swept the hurdles at the Big 12. He swept the hurdles, indoors and outdoors at the Big 12 championships. And we see him in lane 5, Dwight, and it's going to be so important for Texas Tech even to have a chance at the team title for Caleb Dean to get through.
He's already gotten through in the 110 hurdles earlier. But Owens-Delarme has run 48.26 and winning the SEC championships. That is the collegiate leader. And I'm sure here in Austin he is thinking maybe sub 48. Following in Ashton Eaton's footsteps, Eaton took a year off between Olympics and decided to run the 400-meter hurdles and got pretty good at it. So back over the pole vault very quickly. Sondre Guttormson, the NCAA indoor champion, missed on his first attempt at 18.4.5. Second attempt here at this height. Again, very slow-moving competition because of the amount of people. You can see he's easily over, but you never want to have a miss if you can avoid it. But he's capable certainly of much, much more. He has jumped 6 meters, so there's a lot of pole vaulting in Guttormson's future. in this competition as we get back to that first semifinal heat, or second, I should say, of the 400 hurdles. There is Aiden Owens-Delamere. He will be out in lane number 6 with Caleb Dean of Texas Tech on his inside, which is a fortunate lane draw for the Red Raider. Might help him get an automatic qualifying spot.
Well, in the events that make him such a tough competitor in the decathlon, the 400, he's an outstanding 400-meter runner. He's a really good 1,500-meter runner. They translate very well over to the 400-meter hurdles. This is just a race of guts, and he's got guts to give.
Cleanly away this time. Delamere will be out in lane 6, as I mentioned. Off to a little bit of a slow start here, which we did not see in Baton Rouge 3.5 weeks ago. Caleb Dean right there, even with him. Temperatures dropped down into the lower 80s, which is helpful, and the breeze has stayed down. Dean now taking the lead on hurdle number 7. And on the outside, that is Caleb Kavanaugh of Georgia making a race of it, and Delamere does not seem to have an answer here. It's going to be Dean and Kavanaugh with the automatic qualifying spots. Delamere goes well off of the 10th hurdle and may have run fast enough to get a time qualifier, but we still have one semifinal heat remaining for him to wade through, and it's just not the Aiden Owens-Delamere we saw in Baton Rouge, that's for certain.
Well, it's tough, Dwight, because we've only seen him run 2 400-meter hurdle races. We haven't seen him in any kind of distress. We haven't seen him get out of his stride pattern. And here we are at the championship. You see him, he makes a really good comeback at the end, but he's out of the race by that time. Caleb Dean ran a phenomenal race up front. Got a little wild on that 10th hurdle, but he was able to close very strongly. And the Texas Tech Raiders, he takes a step into the other lane, but did not impede anybody and did not improve his own position. So not a foul.
So just so happens that Aiden Owens-Delamere with that finish is the bubble. 49.82. As long as third place in the next semifinal does not run faster than that, Owens will get into the final. He'll have a lousy lane draw, but that probably doesn't matter to him. In 2 more days, he may be a completely different athlete. You can see he's not in some distress. Caleb Dean winning it, getting into the final in both hurdle races, and Caleb Kavanaugh of Georgia helping the Bulldogs with the second place finish. Third and final semifinal heat. Just to close the circle, Sean Burrell, who we mentioned after the first heat, at 49.84, he will not advance. Let me correct that. He is the bubble. Delamere 0.02 of a second faster. He is next to the bubble. Let's get that straight. Nathaniel Ezekiel of Baylor. He will start in the 6th position. He has run 48.42, just a sophomore from Nigeria.
Well, he was second in the Big 12 championships behind the winner of the last heat, Caleb Dean. But his time, 48.42, ranks him 4th among collegiates this season. They received a Pac-12 champion in lane 5, Cass Elliott. An outstanding 800-meter runner indoors, has run 146. But he easily won the Pac-12 championships just a couple weeks ago.
And I promise not to make any type of a mamas and papas comparison there. There are your lane assignments. Elliott in 5, Ezekiel in 6. They know what they have to do from a standpoint of time. But the best way to qualify through to the final, finish in the top 2. You're automatically in. And it is Ezekiel who is out pretty quickly already, as is Chris Robinson of Alabama. Well, Robinson making up the stagger already.
I was going to say, remember Chris Robinson was the runner-up at the SEC Outdoor Championships behind Aiden Owens-Delamere. He really seems to be attacking the first part of this race.
8-7, Chris Robinson, Alabama. Robinson, the SEC silver.
Robinson still getting after it. He'll go over the 8th hurdle first. On the outside, that is Rasheem Griffith of Tennessee, who did not qualify in the 110s, as I recall. Cass Elliott trying to get back in it, as is Nathaniel Ezekiel. It is going to be Robinson who's going to win it. Ooh, it looks like Ezekiel did get in for that second automatic qualifying position. This is a quick heat, 48.80 for Chris Robinson, the junior from Alabama. .48.79 it's corrected to. So this could have an interesting effect on the time qualifiers.
Well, this is a really quick heat. There you see Chris Robinson with the white uniform A up front. He has gone 48.36 earlier this season, but he ran just such a gutsy race through 9 hurdles and then just gave it everything he had down the home straight. You can see that all these guys are hurting when they come off that 10th hurdle, and it's really a matter of who can hold their composure all the way to the line, and Chris Robinson ran a very smart race.
Robinson had some serious hang time off that 10th hurdle to make sure he didn't hit it. 48.79, Ezekiel at 48.95, James Rivera at 49 flat. So these are going to be times that are going to knock Aiden Owens-Delerme out of the final. There you see Craig Sadler of North Carolina getting that last spot at 49.57. So Aiden Owens-Delerme and Sean Burrell both out of the 400 hurdles final. Back with more.